out of the pocket. Darnold will throw, touchdown! Justin Jefferson open!
The Minnesota Vikings are becoming the story of the NFL early on in this season. I mean, after McCarthy went down, whether he was gonna start or not, people had no expectations for this team. And literally nobody thought they would start the season off 3-0. And a win in this fashion against a team like the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud really just legitimized what this team is doing. So in this video, I'm going to talk about it all. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. So to start things off with a quick recap of the game, CJ Stroud 25 seconds into the first quarter threw an interception to Hill, and Sam Darnold got right to business. Justin Jefferson caught a 9-yard pass, Aaron Jones had a few carries, and then Darnold hit Jefferson for a 9-yard touchdown to get the Vikings on a roll early with a 7-0 lead. Stroud did respond, leading the Texans down the field, but eventually the Vikings defense stood strong, holding Houston to a long 54-yard field goal attempt, which Fairbairn missed. So now the Vikings had the ball back midfield, and once again, Darnold connected with Jefferson for a big 28-yard gain. Jones had a few runs again and caught an 8-yard touchdown pass to go up 14-0. Nothing happened the rest of the first half after this. The defenses on both sides did their thing, so heading into the third, Minnesota held a 14-0 lead. I personally thought that Houston would come out firing in the second half, but with the Vikings receiving the ball, Darnold went out again and drove Minnesota down the field, getting most of the position players involved. And once they got to the red zone, he hit Jalen Naylor for a short 4-yard touchdown. And now, the Vikings were up 21-0, and the Texans just looked mentally defeated. Midway through the third, the Texans did finally get on the board when Cam Akers caught an 8-yard touchdown. So now the score was 21-7, but to begin the fourth, the Texans made it a 3-possession game with a field goal. And then Darnold threw another touchdown to basically seal the deal with a score of 31-7. And things didn't even stop there, because they added another 3 points with about 5 minutes left. So basically, to really sum things up, this game was complete domination by the Minnesota Vikings. This game was complete domination by the Minnesota defense, and the offense led by Sam Darnold did their part as well. And Justin Jefferson was huge in this game as a receiver. Here's what they had to say in their post-game interview.
What's up, guys? I think like I said last week, defense balled out today. Special teams balled out, did their thing. Obviously we were able to execute at a high level in the red zone. Hit a little bit of a lull in the third quarter there, but we'll clean those things up. But obviously, very happy with the win and the way that besides those couple possessions, the way that we were able to execute today.
You scored 34 points, but no explosive, no big plays. I know you'd like to have them, but what's it say about you guys that you can still put a big number on a good defense without having to get a 97-yard touchdown?
Yeah, well, first of all, kudos to their defense. They're definitely a tough defense to scheme up against and to go out there and make plays. They have guys on their side of the ball just like we do. So,
all right, now let's dive deeper into the Vikings' impressive 3-0 start to the 2024 NFL season. Sam Darnold has been nothing short of spectacular, silencing his critics and proving that he can be a reliable starting quarterback in this league. Through 3 games, he has thrown for 795 yards, 7 touchdowns, with just 1 interception. His passer rating of 113.2 ranks among the top 10 in the NFL, and he's completing over 68% of his passes. And the offensive line deserves a lot of credit for Darnold's success as well. Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill have been rock solid at the tackle positions, giving Darnold plenty of time to survey the field and make accurate throws. And the interior line led by Ed Ingram has also been impressive, opening up running lanes for Aaron Jones and providing solid pass protection. Speaking of Aaron Jones, he's been a revelation for the Vikings offense. After coming over from Green Bay in the offseason, Jones has seamlessly integrated into the system, rushing for 285 yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 3 games. And his ability to catch passes out of the backfield has also been crucial, which we saw with his recent touchdown in the Houston game. Of course, we can't talk about the Vikings offense without mentioning Justin Jefferson. The superstar receiver has picked up right where he left off last season, already amassing 352 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. His chemistry with Darnold has been evident from the start, and he continues to be one of the most difficult receivers to cover in the entire NFL. And I don't think people really expected this coming into the season because of the unknown at QB. Switching gears, the Vikings defense has been equally impressive, if not more so. The aggressive scheme of Brian Flores has paid dividends, as the unit ranks 3rd in points allowed per game at 11.5 and 8th in rushing yards allowed per game at 88. And the front seven, led by Jonathan Grenard and his 3 sacks, has been relentless in pressuring opposing quarterbacks. In the secondary, Byron Murphy and Stephon Gilmore have formed a formidable cornerback duo, making it difficult for teams to find success through the air. And safety Harrison Smith continues to be the heart and soul of the defense, providing veteran leadership and making crucial plays when needed. Against the Texans, to me, several players stood out. Linebacker Jonathan Grenard had a stellar game, recording 3 sacks, and Van Ginkel also made his presence felt, notching a sack and providing some pressure throughout the game. Looking ahead, the Vikings' outlook is now incredibly promising, with a balanced offense led by Darnold and Jefferson and a stingy defense that's playing with confidence. Minnesota has established itself as a legitimate contender in the NFC, which is pretty crazy to say, and take it with a grain of salt because I know it's still early. But the upcoming schedule presents some challenges, including matchups with the Packers and Jets. But again, the Vikings have shown they can compete with anyone. One area the team will need to focus on is maintaining consistency. While the 3-0 start is impressive, the NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint. And Kevin O'Connell will need to keep his team focused and hungry, avoiding any potential letdowns or complacency. The thing to me that will be most important is the Vikings not letting this hot start get to them, because other teams around the NFL are going to wake up and they are going to come after this team. Nobody ever wants to see a young team like this get going. Like, the Packers are most definitely going to try to put them in their place. So if you're the Vikings, you can enjoy this hot start, you can be happy about it, but they need to lock in more than ever and focus on what's ahead. But yeah, the coaching staff deserves a lot of credit for the team's turnaround. O'Connell and Flores have implemented systems that play to their players' strengths, and the results speak for themselves. Their ability to make in-game adjustments has been particularly impressive. And one potential concern moving forward is depth. While the starters have been excellent, injuries are always a possibility in the NFL. The Vikings will need their backups to be ready to step up if called upon. Here's what some of the players and media had to say following the huge win against the Texans.
The team needed you to kind of carry it home. You did.
It felt good, when you go up and you get up in late in the fourth, the game's gonna kind of fall on the backs at that point, and kind of just try to, in 4-minute mode, run the timeout, keep the defense off the field. So it's gonna come down to me and Ty, CJ, Miles, what we can do, and then up front, those guys land on them, and they did a great job all game.
I don't know if I've been more proud of a football team from a standpoint of what we talked about last night. You guys coming to life. All right, we won the turnover battle. We ran for more yards than they did. All right, we kept the chunks off the tape. You guys forcing turnovers defensively. You know what this is starting to feel like? A team that believes.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and let me know in the comments below how you are feeling about the Vikings now that they are 3-0. If you haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.